Shalom, it's your brother Yara, giving all praise to Yahweh, Bashem, Yahweh Shai, Bashem, Rachakodash, for giving me the spirit to do this lesson. Shalom to the elect of Israel, the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, whom the Lord will have mercy on in these latter days. Shalom to the Akim, the brothers, the prophets, preaching and teaching the word in sincerity and in truth. Shalom to Revelation 13, verse 16, and he calls it all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads, and that no man may buy or sell, save he that had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. Here is wisdom. He that hath understanding, count the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man, and his number is 636. This here is an article. I'll go through this real quick and read it, but the brothers who are in the know, you'll see. And I'll probably title this the Mark of the Beast. The world is being conditioned with the Mark of the Beast right now. And already as we speak, we see it. It says, welcome, please scan your QR code in South Korea, a high-tech registry for nightlife amid coronavirus. Now you can see in this city called Daejeon, it says it had been more than a decade since Choi Kung last set foot in a nightclub. He says there are things you don't do as a married man with children, a 42-year-old said, and going to a nightclub, which in South Korea often entails waiters bringing over female patrons to tables of men, is most certainly one. But on a recent night, his friend had dragged him out to a club in Daejeon, a city in hour south of Seoul, which I believe the capital of Korea. When they arrived at nightclub 7, though they were in for a surprise. To enter, bouncers explained they would have to scan a QR code, a quick barcode on smartphones containing their personal information. Now, in Korea and China, I believe in India as well, there already is the infrastructure set up to store data about you, whether right now it's just medical or basic name, address information already, and they're implementing this in places like nightclubs, going back to that buy or sell thing, all based on this coronavirus pandemic nonsense. It says, how do you safely resume nights of dancing, drinking, or karaoke at a time when the threat of a deadly, highly contagious virus still lingers, which it's not really. South Korea, which saw another end to its coronavirus outbreak, derailed when an uptick in infections last month, blamed on clubbing, is trying out a mandatory high-tech registry for nightclub. That's wild, because it's coming here. It says beginning Wednesday, everyone visiting high-risk places, including clubs in Norai Bang, as popular private room karaoke's are known, will be required to scan a QR code that will log the information into government databases. The measure is also being rolled out for certain gyms, concert spaces, and restaurants. So these are all places of commerce. It's just going to expand into every industry. You're going to be supermarkets pretty soon. This is going to come to America, and you're not going to be able to buy food. Once the currency gets converted, you're not going to be able to buy anything. In all, more than 80,000 businesses across the country were being mandated to implement QR code scans. Wow, dude. The scriptures were right on point with this, I'll go down. It says Choi, who happened upon a club that had implemented the QR code system a week early on a trial basis, had his misgivings. I'm not sure it's a good thing, what if the information gets out? He said, well, they don't care. The information gets out. They're slowly combining everything, you know. So they own you. It says if you're of a certain age with a family, you're not exactly proud coming to a place like this. He and his friend nonetheless stumbled through the process of loading the QR code on their phones and scanned them on tablets installed at the entrance before entering the club. So now they just logged you, yeah, you were here at this time, he didn't have the coronavirus, and you know, this how can you want to live in a world like this? So they had, after all, taken a 40-minute cab ride to get there. The rollout comes after a cluster of cases emerged in bars and clubs in Itaewon, a nightlife district in Seoul. Chains of infections radiated throughout the metropolitan area of 10 million people. The clubs had kept written logs of customer information, but when health officials looked through them to track down potential infections, they discovered much of the information was inaccurate or incomplete. Detailed contact tracing. There you go, contact tracing. They just passed that law. Based on cell tower information, credit card data, CCTV footage, has been at the center of South Korea's coronavirus response. So this is an Orwellian, they call an Orwellian police surveillance state, where the wicked are just going to, rule over you. They're going to basically enslave everybody in one way, shape, or form. Of nearly 5,000 who'd written down their names and phone numbers, authorities were only able to track down about 40%. Jeez, man. So this thing is out, for everybody that can't see that the mark of the beast is the RFID chip. Now that QR code and the barcode is basically one and the same thing. When it says the number of the beast is 666, the barcode has the 666 on it. Look at this. You brothers can read the entire article, but this is just one example. South Korea, which takes a lot of its culture from America, they're implementing this. And it said there was something they wrote about Apple and Google on here. Where is it? Salaki. I must have missed it. But basically saying Apple and Google already have a voluntary system that they're working on right now. And you can best believe Apple and Google are two monopolies, or I should say a duopoly, that will be very instrumental in implementing the mark of the beast, because everybody has a smartphone, and the vast majority of those are either iPhone or Android. Esau's about to roll, man. So I just wanted to get that call. Hello, Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Rachakwadash. Hopefully you brothers were edified. Shalom.